And Sue, as you were saying, you've been inside Idlib province. You've been there over the last few days. It's been one of the focal points of this conflict. Tell us what you saw.
Yes, we went down as far as معرة النعمان, which really has been a real focal point of the conflict between the rebels and the regime forces over the last almost 2 months, because معرة النعمان sits on the main highway between the north and south of the country, and there's been major bombardment there. 150,000 people lived in that city. Most have now fled because it's been bombarded almost every day from the air and from artillery strikes, and it's pretty clear the regime thinks very strategically important and is refusing to let it fall into rebel hands.
We drove into معرة النعمان at daybreak, before the daily air and artillery strikes began. Syrian state TV had announced there'd been an earthquake of 6.6 magnitude here. That's not what the residents say. They describe a bombardment that began back in October. Almost every house, business and school has been hit. Many of the 150,000 residents have fled. Others didn't get out in time. This is Al Muazzafin Street, where 18-year-old Rama lived until 3 weeks ago.
We used to hear the jets and run to the bunkers, but this time the bombing was silent. These were planes without any sound.
This was Rama's house. She was on the 3rd floor of this house before it was flattened. She lost everybody she loves and everything she owns here. But she survived. 23 of her family members didn't.
2 blocks had landed on my legs. They didn't dig me out until that evening. Then I refused to go to the hospital. I told them I wanted to see my parents. I saw them. My family were lying on the ground. It was 5 days before they found all my relatives.
In a cold, dank basement, a field hospital of sorts. The city has had no electricity or water for 6 weeks. There are no monitors, no machines, and barely any medicine. People are dying here from treatable injuries and diseases. Back above ground, glimpses of what life used to be like here. The streets are empty, but the shelling doesn't stop. معرة النعمان sits on the main highway between northern and southern Syria. That's why the regime refuses to let it fall.
معرة
al-Nauman is the key to the south. By controlling it, you're controlling the highway from the south and the north. Plus, it's of strategic importance because the regime's main fuel depot is here. That's why they will use any amount of weapons to hold on to it.
The colonel described this as a city of ghosts. No one could feel that more keenly than Rama. It's a city where she grew up and where she lost everyone she loves.
And Sue, reports that a NATO team will be visiting that area. What more can you tell us?
Yes, we understand the NATO team will land in Turkey today to go and inspect the various sites. It's considering putting the batteries for the Patriot missiles that Turkey has requested it is supplied to protect its border. We are hearing from eyewitnesses on those border crossing airstrikes that they were hearing of Turkish fighter jets overhead. We also heard from at least 2 eyewitnesses said they believe the Syrian jets actually entered into Turkish airspace, but we can't confirm that. But I think what's happening at the border today really will have focused the Turkish Foreign Ministry's mind. They are very keen to get those Patriot missiles in place. They say they're there to defend their border. Many Syrians say they hope they do actually do much more than that and take out any of these Syrian jets that are bombing the areas where so many of the Syrian refugees are now taking shelter.
All right, Sue Turton there in Antakya. Sue, thank you.